Let's see right here. Yo, 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 what's up, brother?
Yo, 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 how we doing today, man?
Man, I'm good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing well. Can't complain.
Can't complain. Wouldn't do no good even if you could complain. Nobody would care
You
nothing
know,
about it. How'd you hold up through the storms?
oh man, I lost power for a couple of days, but all in all, I'm grateful, thankful it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I lost a little power too, but like you said, just grateful that it wasn't that bad, and that we were able to get through it. Me and the family. So I'm definitely grateful of that. To anybody else out there, man, we hope that you and your families were able to get through the storm fine. And it's some things that are bigger than football. I know we missed Friday night, but in this case, it's something that had to be done. So it's going to be a lot of makeup games, a lot of things that change because people aren't around, but it's going to be some good football going on.
Yep, real good football the next week or two.
All right. Well, I tell y'all what. Thanks once again to Chop Up. We're gonna get everything on and popping. So let's get what we normally talk about first off sponsorships. I'll let you take the lead on that.
Well, first off, I wanna you wanna touch base on our new sponsor that we just recently
Yeah,
got
yeah,
this week.
yeah. I'm saying is your world, baby.
Oh,
Sponsorship, your thing.
you know more of the details about it.
I say let's wait because we
Wait,
let's let them
all right, we'll
next
wait.
week we'll be able to kind of go over it, with everybody, and so as we get big and better, we'll definitely let everybody know. But next week we should have everything set up. Actually, we'll be it'll help us with sponsors and we'll be able to be seen by a lot more people. So
Absolutely.
so that's going to be a good thing. Look at this, man. This dude is so nice, man. He say he missed us, God.
EP.
Yeah, we miss you too, EP. I mean, good guy. Hey, man, you guys down there definitely had it bad in Kissimmee. So prayers out to everybody down there, that Kissimmee Osceola area, because I know it was real rough on those guys down there.
The
Uh,
wetlands and the
yeah,
wetlands.
it was rough out there. It really was. So all right, man. So let's go ahead and get it cracking,
But
man. Let's go
but
back to.
sponsorships though, we recently got some big news we'll announce next week. But sponsorships, we're looking for anyone that would like to sponsor. Weekly sponsor for the game of the week. You can be a sponsor for the game. Our main cost for the game, main expense is always jerseys. We like to put on the event for the young men that's free. So we don't think that they should have to pay to be recognized as an all-star. So we try to fork the bill ourselves, but obviously we look for sponsors to help us out with that. Um, we have different packages for different companies. We have several packages that'd be ideal. Um, we're in Lake County, Orange, Osceola, Volusia, Seminole, and Brevard. So those are the 6 counties that we are focused on right now. But you can reach us on any of our social media accounts, Elite 100 Prospects at Gmail. You can contact us via Facebook, via Instagram, Twitter. We'll be more than willing to speak with you about any opportunities that may arise.
Yeah, actually, he's texting me now. Hold on. Okay. All right. So yeah, with that being said, one of he gave you AJ gave you guys a little bit about our social media. It's going to be probably a little better and going forward. It really, really is. Like I said, the sponsor that we have is going to help out with that tremendously. So we're going to have big and better. basically next week we're going to have a show that is going to be like none other. We'll announce, and well, I tell you what, let's talk about it now. We're going to announce our mid-season, top 10 at each position. That'll be announced next week, as well as sometime probably towards the end of the week, probably next weekend. We'll announce the players that are going to be selected to the game. So because of the storm, the nominations were due on Saturday. Because of the storm, we're not doing it till we gave it another week. So coaches, make sure that you get that information in. We're basically taking a lot of recommendation from coaches. I will say that some coaches are actually, speaking up, and they're fighting for their kids, and that's always a great thing, as a parent, to know that you have a
Absolutely.
coach that's going to say, hey, take my kid. I like Everybody always wants to talk about it. I want to say this for the record. Everybody always wants to talk about Apopka and that they don't try to promote their kids, and that they don't do this with their kids. But I can honestly say that Coach Rolson nominated, basically all his seniors, and that, that's to be commended, because I hate when people, because it happens to me all the time. People have a different view of me that is really me, and so big shout out to Coach, for that. Seriously.
And we understand the recommendation process isn't as, to be honest, it's not as quick as pencil this, that, I mean, it does take some type of thought, or you got to put in some type of work. So
Oh
like
yeah.
you said, we do appreciate Coach Rosen, because to do that, that took time.
Oh, and because, just for those who don't know, we asked for, name, school he's at, height, weight, position he plays, highlight film, but we asked for a coach to give us an actual written recommendation. So
Written
the coach he
recommendation.
has to say why we need this kid. Like, hey, I like AJ Brooks because he runs hard, he does this in practice, he's a leader. We find out different things about the kid, because we're not necessarily selecting the best kids. We're like the kids who got Power Five offers, we'll recognize them. Like, yeah, Cedric Baxter will be someone that will get recognized, but Cedric
But he ain't
Baxter would
playing in the game.
he's not playing in the game. That ain't happening. But
It ain't happening.
we want to definitely have kids that have an opportunity to go, play on the next level. This is Roger Reed. I tagged him. For those who don't know, uh, this is a former coach at Tennessee State University. I tagged him because his son is going to be at Ole Miss. Uh, hell of a quarterback. Probably, in my opinion, I'm not saying it just because he's my boy. He's the best quarterback in 2023. We seen him live. He came down for 7-on-7 event. Did his thing. The kid's gonna be special. So just wanted to make sure, I tagged him so he kind of see what we're doing down here. Uh, think he got a raw job at TSU, but once again, one of the better coaches out there. Good guy. Only mistake is he plays Omega Psi Phi. But
Hey,
other than that,
Coach
he good.
Reed, my boy Crow Marty said y'all need to come on and hire him. I saw it on Facebook this weekend. He said TSU need to come on, bring me back home, just to let you know.
Well, Coach Reed, they let him go for Eddie George. So so he damn straight for to give him no job. Shit, he better not. Hey, but I know him. I know them boys was tight. But anyway, man, I just wanted to make sure we definitely give him a shout out for coming on. But yeah, so you know, shout out once again to all the coaches. I just want to throw Rolston's name out because a lot of people, because of course the lodges, the EPs, those guys that are very active, the chefs, the whales, we know it, but the guy who gets a raw rap in the community is Coach Rolson. So I want to make sure that we gave him a shout out. So all you people in the pop can make sure y'all let him know that we shout him out. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next thing. Game of the week recap. We don't have one. It was
Hurricane
rain,
Ian,
rain, rain, rain. But the game of the week was gonna be OCOEE versus uh
West Orange,
West Orange. Yeah.
West Orange.
And I think that game intently is going to be moved. Uh, they don't even know when it's going to be moved. Uh, so we can kind of talk about our what's going on this week, which is our upcoming games of the week. And our upcoming game of this week is Winter Park versus Ocoee.
Correct.
Uh, Winter Park is a 5-0 team. Ocoee is a 4-1 team. Uh, so it should be a good game. What are your thoughts about the upcoming game of the week, sir?
I think this will be good. I think obviously we'll get into it a little more in depth, but I mean, I can't wait for it. I can't wait. Tomorrow can't get here quick enough.
Well, hey, well, I can tell
And
some
that's on
people.
Thursday. That's on Thursday for you all.
Yeah, and because we have another game of the week. So since
Another
again,
one.
since that's Thursday, we do have uh Seminole, Cocoa
Coco
versus
versus
Seminole.
Seminole. Yep, on Friday. So we get it. We get two bangers back to back. I mean I can't wait for that one as well. So
Yeah, Lee. Nobody played in Orlando on Friday. On Monday, nobody played in Orlando on Monday. The kids didn't go back to
school
school till
weren't
Tuesday,
open yet.
so nobody played down there. I think y'all made up a few games in Cocoa area, but nobody played down here. Uh, but so look at this guy right here, man. But he said he liked those Tigers and T. Roberts. That's our main man. He as long as you're a Tiger, PJ gonna salute you no matter what. But we got well also he probably take Coco too. Let us know, PJ, because that's the Coco Tigers versus Seminole. So let us know if you just all Tiger bound. But both of those games should be very, very entertaining. Uh, you know, uh, you're gonna have a lot of talent on the field. So those are two games that we're looking forward to. So those are our upcoming games of the week. And then next up, we have our top 10. Our top 10. There were some changes, mainly because at number 10, those guys played on Monday.
Monday. Yeah, you got to play Monday.
Egali played Merritt Island, and we both would have probably picked Egali to win.
I probably
And,
would have.
but matter of fact, we might have picked that game.
I
We might
think
have
we
picked that
did
game.
pick
Yeah, we
that
might have picked
game.
that game.
Actually,
So, but they lost, and
they lost.
shout out to Merritt Island. Like I said, like I tell people all the time, you can never underestimate a team that's been to a championship. You can never do that. Uh, so they won in overtime, but you can never underestimate that. So let's go, AJ. I know that we got a new one coming in number 10. So
Number
you go ahead
10.
and start it out.
Oh well, man, this team Deltona, first time in school history, they 5-0. So big shout out to Coach Smothers and Deltona, 5-0. This week they have a solid test in
Oh, no
DELAND.
doubt.
They have to go to DELAND, which is always I like going to that to see DELAND games in that environment. So they'll be battle tested in DELAND on Friday.
Okay. That's a good game, and we'll probably pick that one later on. Who's number 9?
Number 9, we're looking at those Tigers, Cocoa Tigers, 2-2 on the season. Um, Started off 0-2. Were able to get on a winning streak. I think last week they would have had a bye anyway, so it didn't affect them. But this Friday they take on Seminole on the road, so that's going to be another huge test for them.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches made sure that they. I can pretty much guarantee that what they did, they made sure that those guys started practicing for Coco Seminole, you know, all last
Last
week.
week.
Yeah, so it should be a good game. It'll be one of our game of the weeks. We'll be there, and we'll definitely pick that game later. So next up, who you got?
Next up, we got Tigers at number 8. Jones Tigers, 2-2. They won a tough game the last time they played against West Orange, 14-13, won by 1 point. But they're 2-2, and they are at home against Orlando University, and I expect them to win that game.
Man, definitely, and I'm gonna have to show this. We're gonna have to show something that just popped up. Someone's emailed it to me, and they want us to talk about it. And I think it's a great idea. All right, so who do we have next up?
Next up, we got Lake Minneola, 4-1 Lake Minneola. Last time they were out, they lost a tough game to Mainland. It was a very good game. They have Fleming Island, which is another tough opponent, and they have to go on the road. So Lake Minneola have another test this week as well with Fleming Island on the road.
Well, man, to be honest, like both of those guys are good friends. They play each other every year. Fleming Island, I know a little bit about them. They have a couple of really good running backs,
Yep.
2023 running backs. So it should be a good game for both teams. All right, next up, who we got?
Next up, we got Mainland 3-4 representing Volusia County. They're home this week versus University Orange City. Um,
They got
yeah,
University of Orange City. What's their rate? I think they're doing pretty good right now, if
I
I
believe
remember
that
correctly.
2-3, if I'm not mistaken, 2-3,
Wow.
or three and
Okay.
two. Excuse me,
Yeah.
3-2. But they have players. They have a couple players over there. But I like Mainland to come away with that victory.
Yeah. All right. So we like Mainland. Come away with that one. That's who you like. That's not a game we picking, so we can
Nah,
talk
I ain't a
about it a little
gang.
bit.
I'm just
All
talking.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Next up, who we got? I like
we
Mainland
got
too, by the way.
we got Rockledge 4-1 Rockledge. Um, Last time they played, I believe that was against Osceola. First loss of the season. Talking about a team that only gave up 7 points all year in 4 games, and then Osceola went in there and
But I gotta know. I would. I wasn't there, so I couldn't see the floor of the game.
right.
But there, Eddie Combs, you know, from what I gathered, didn't even have a catch.
No, from
How
what I
how's
gather,
that even possible? You
I'm
know.
not sure. When I didn't, I was not there either. I was at the Lake Minniola game. But when I looked at the stat sheets and everything like that, I only saw one carry for 20 yards. I did see some of the game. Went back and watched it. Rockledge, they moved the ball somewhat, but it was a couple of goal line stance. One time going in, Osceola stripped them, forced a fumble. So Osceola was just aggressive. You look at that game, a kid like Bo. Bo is a lockdown corner, but he's a senior. He's the man. He was able to go to receiver and get a touchdown. And when I look at that Osceola team, man, they so deep. That
Oh yeah, no
2023
doubt.
class, that
Yeah,
2023 class, all of them was there as sophomores in the state championship.
yeah, those some bad boys for certain.
And if
They
I'm not
definitely some bad boys.
mistaken, I believe all of them started, correct?
Yeah, no, all of them definitely started.
Yeah,
Someone on
Josh
Facebook.
started at receiver.
Let's see, we got Facebook user Easy. Or Ja had a good game against them, but Easy locked them up. Roger didn't score. Sometimes they don't tell us. Facebook user. So if you are whoever that is, just type your name in there. But yeah,
Yeah, Rockledge didn't score, but they fumbled the ball at the 3 yard line as well, 2 yard line. So they were going in to score, but Osceola, tough defense, they stopped them.
yeah.
But
Derek LeBlanc had a really good game. I've been, very critical of him, not publicly, but I told him that he got to step up, and he did. So big shout out, with a lot of these kids because I know them.
right
I'm not gonna say nothing out in public about none of them, but in private, I'm gonna definitely tell him to tighten up. And to his credit, he tightened up. So I give him credit. So let's see
at
what else.
number four, we got undefeated Winter Park. See what Lee say there?
Lee said if
Rockledge is
Rockets under
undefeated.
pressure, they default to the run, almost like a Popka.
Let me get
Like,
the
I get it. Yeah. Almost like APK. If APK get in trouble, they're gonna run that ball. We know how
So
that go.
so let my boy Traven spin that rock then.
Yeah, they need to. So we'll see what happens. All right, who we got at number four?
Number four, we got an undefeated Winter Park, 5-0. Last time they took the field, they beat Evans 37-10. They have a tough matchup on the road against OCOEE tomorrow.
Yep, they definitely play each other tomorrow, which should be good. Who we got at number three?
Number three, we're looking at Osceola, 2-2. We just spoke about them. They
Uh,
big win against Rockledge. Um,
And they got
they're on a bye, so to speak. I think Hurricane Ian messed up their schedule, but they play on Monday at Jones High School.
they may play Friday still. I'm not sure. They may
No,
play
I don't.
Friday
I,
still.
I don't believe they play on Friday.
Okay. And so they and who we have after that?
After that, we got Seminole, number two Seminole, 4-1. They took a tough loss to Venice. I heard a lot of different things. I did see that Seminole had 30 plus penalties to Venice 2. So anytime I see stuff like that, I know for a fact that Seminole is not that undisciplined of a team. Um, so I kind of question
Hey
referees,
man.
so to speak, if
Hey,
I just
yeah, and yeah, we are. The game is Monday at 6 at Jones. But back to Osceola, they did have a bye this week.
Yeah.
last week, with the hurricane. But the thing is about down there, you go down there, you definitely gonna get some home cooking. I witnessed it firsthand last year with West
In
Orange,
the
but
playoffs. Yeah.
I definitely want to give a shout out to those boys because one thing they didn't do is they didn't lose their cool. Like West Orange had, we had like 32 personal fouls in the second half.
Listen,
And even
I remember West Orange didn't Venice kick off from like the 30-yard line or something? The
no from the
25?
no the 15.
The 15? I ain't never heard of nothing like that. That that's three that's three personal
No,
fouls.
the 15. They kicked no, it was more than that because you had the 40-yard line. They got 15, 15, 15. Then had like two half the distance. We got like five personal fouls on one play.
It's ridiculous, man.
And so shout out to them boys for keeping their head. Because I get it. It can be you can easily lose your head. They definitely you definitely don't want to have to go down there in a playoff game. I'm just telling you that now. They gonna get all the calls. So that's a whole
All
nother
of them.
story.
And
But
some.
yep. But and that's probably who Pinellas them are gonna have
I
to go
mean,
through.
and really, when I looked at it, they were critical calls because there was, for instance, I saw Bo Simpson. Bo drove on a curl route. He made a beautiful play.
Yo,
Deflected the ball. They called pass interference. Like when the drive's supposed to end, and then you get a pass interference, and now you get another set of downs. That's like demoralizing to a team, to a defense, and it's just tough for them, man.
yeah, man. But who's number one? That leaves
Number
one team.
one, Edgewater, Orange County's finest right now, undefeated, 5-0 Edgewater. They beat Apopka the last time they played. It was 28-13, if I'm not mistaken. And they are at home this week against Creek, and I expect an easy dub.
Man, Timber Creek is decent, but yeah, I expect the easy dub as well.
Copy.
Because like we all know, Mama, there goes that man, Cedric Baxter. Yeah, man. Like that the
Well,
monkey and the
listen,
banana.
EP,
Yeah,
here
yeah.
go the thing. They had another situation this weekend where, and I read it on Facebook. A man was walking in with his 13-year-old son, and the kid asked the young boy. He had a piece of watermelon and a piece of chicken. And he asked the boy, "Which one you want?" And the kid obviously didn't understand the underlying message behind that, but the father did, and he felt enough to write about it on Facebook, and I thought that was pretty crazy, man. It's a crazy environment when you go down there to Venice.
Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate
But Edgewater is number one, undefeated, 5-0. But yeah,
you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I apologize. That was a coach calling, but I mean, that banana in the tailpipe. I mean, the banana thing with the monkey, man. I mean, it was disturbing, but what was really disturbing was just to see the African American players and parents for Venice, like supporting it. And I had a talk with one of the players, real good. He was a hell of a baller, and we just had a conversation. And I told him, the implications behind it. And to his credit, he was like, "Yeah, we got to have a conversation about that because, like, just like you talked about the watermelon chicken, it's it just that like." And I
disgusting.
personally think when the banana and the monkey thing came through, it kind of spooked our kids a little bit at West Orange. I think those kids weren't prepared for that mentally.
That's when they ran on the field and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and jump the fence and all
But
that
it
other
just
stuff.
seemed like it seemed normal.
Yeah, no. They've been doing it. It
It
wasn't
was
like no,
like no
right.
big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, right. No,
Like
they've been doing it,
I
but
couldn't imagine coming to a game up here and seeing a kid like that run on the field.
no. It's something that they've been doing, that's why I had to kind of let the young man know, the implications behind it. It definitely was something that shouldn't be tolerated, and quite frankly, FHSA and none of those guys should allow them to do that. So, with that being said, we're gonna go to what our pick 'em this week. We got some good games to pick for certain. We can start off with Deltona and DLand.
Deltona DLand 5-0 Deltona versus 3-2 DLand. Even though DLand is 3-2, I think the program is on the up and up with Coach Darlington. But I'm gonna go with Deltona. I think they're gonna roll to 6-0 and get ready for a big matchup next week versus Mainland.
Yeah, very rare that I go against Coach Darlington, but I will right now because it's his first year with those kids. I do think DELAND is going to be very solid next year.
Yep,
I think they're going to be very, very solid. I think you got to give him a chance to do what he needs to do. I do like what I see what they're doing with TJ. They're allowing him to be an athlete and do the things that he does.
yep,
So I expect them to be even better next year when TJ is a senior. He's going to be a problem. So um, I'm gonna go with Deltona as well. We got Lake Minniola versus Fleming Island. Uh,
yep. 4-1. Lake Minneola, 3-1. Fleming Island. I'll let you pick first. We'll go ping pong.
well, man, I'm gonna go with Fleming Island because generally speaking, those guys they tend to split. The game is at Fleming Island probably about the last 4 to 5 years. The home team has won. And so I'm gonna go with Fleming Island. They have a pretty decent team. I think they're both, evenly matched. It could go either way. Both those boys know each other. I mean, they're very good friends. They know each other's tendencies. So generally the home team wins.
I feel you. I feel you. But I'm gonna go with Lake Minneola. I was very impressed watching Lake Minneola a couple weeks ago versus Mainland. Um, the offense is flowing. It's free flowing. They get the ball out quick. Uh, they're challenging the edges. But the running back, John Celestine, he's able to get in the middle and hit those dives and all tackles. I'm gonna go with Lake Minneola, man. I like them.
All right.
Then that thing
I'm gonna stick with Osceola because that
it cut out. It
oh
cut out.
no,
You had froze up.
no problem. I said I'm gonna stick with Osceola versus Jones. I'm gonna stick with Osceola. I haven't went against them all year, so there's no sense in me going right now.
Hey man, I understand. I understand.
I'm still waiting. You
Um,
know what the hold on is? Before I say that, did Chad give me my chicken?
nope, he ain't give your chicken no ribs or nothing. And like I thought, my man is having bad connection. Let's give us a minute right here. See if he can get back on. But Lee, where that was at, that we're talking about Venice. That was in Venice. Let's see if he able to get back on. Let me see.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, man. My internet over here went out, but no, man. Chad ain't giving my chicken. So EP, because Chad ain't giving me my chicken, I'm gonna go with Jones. Uh,
Man, you,
I'm changing up just because. But you know what? I'm gonna go back because I was about to go with them to this dude here talking about you crazy going against Jones. They're like between them cats, man. You know me, man. Hey, look, man. I ain't, no, you know what? You know what? Matter of fact, he said he was going to Winter Park Tigers, right? Hell yeah, I'm going for Osceola. Hell
he
yeah.
said you
Chad,
got
this your last Chad, this your last time. If I do not end up with no chicken or lamb chops or beef sausage by this weekend, I'm not going for y'all no more. And I mean that. I done went against my
man.
word,
Chad,
but that's
Chad don't care nothing about that,
but
man.
that's because last week though I cut him some slack. He got to go see our baby boy up there in up at Campbell, so he got to go
Gamble.
see yeah. So I can't get too mad at him. That's why I'm gonna give him his last week. So and then the week before that in his defense I was headed over to Dr. Phillips, but we something went off, so I can't get mad at him over that. So but definitely since this dude here gonna tell me I'm crazy for going against Jones. I'm gonna have to say something on the next one, but you go ahead. Who you got?
Jones versus Osceola. Um, man, I don't honestly. All of the games that we've ever picked Jones, I don't think I ever picked against Jones.
You haven't.
He
So
said
don't
you
start.
haven't.
You haven't. So don't start
I'm
now.
gonna start now.
No, you haven't. Go ahead. You don't have. But no. Bet your
Well,
heart. Bet your heart, man. Bet
well,
your
they
heart.
they everybody think I'm a Tiger man, but
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
gonna keep it a buck, and I'm going with them Cowboys, cuz man, them Cowboys, boy, in the trenches. Hey man, they impress me, man, and I love the Tigers, but for both of those teams at the beginning of the season, the question mark was the quarterback position for both teams, Osceola and Jones. Osceola at the quarterback position is just doing a little bit more. They're a little better at that position. So I'm a roll with Osceola.
Don't go to bed yet, PJ, because I gotta explain why I'm going against you. Because I really was gonna pick Jones, but I'm gonna go against you for one reason, because I'm petty. But I'm gonna go against you for one reason only. But uh so yeah, I mean, and someone I don't know who this is, but they said you went against them when they played Edgewater Eagles. I thought you went with Jones. I could have sworn you did.
I picked Jones. I
Yeah,
definitely picked Jones.
I picked the Edgewater. I thought you
Cause,
went with
cause
Jones.
I had to hear from Sid. I said, let me know. His mom let me know. I
Yeah,
told my baby you picked
yeah. Matter of
Ed
fact,
Jones,
yep,
and he
that's
said,
factual.
oh,
I'm gonna
okay,
get 200
okay.
some yards.
And he got them 200 like he said he
That's
was.
what he said. That's exactly what he said. And so next up we have Winter Park versus OCOEE. That's our first game on Thursday night. And this right here is why this comment right here is why I went with Osceola. That comment right there. Like, because he chose them Tigers. I'm choosing OCOEE. It is what it is. It is
You
what it is.
picking? You don't care,
Yeah.
huh?
Since we doing it like that, damn, I'm
Hey, you
choosing
don't care
OCOEE.
no more.
I don't
We
care no
we
more.
we throwing the whole son thing out of it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
cool
my
with it.
son out all the way out of it. So I'm picking OCOEE. It is what it is. You know, so who you got? You got Winter Park versus OCOEE. Who you got?
Winter Park versus Corey, undefeated Winter Park.
Hmm.
I'm going with the Corey, man. I like them Knights. The Knights, they look good. Both teams played Evans, which I use that game as a barometer, a test, so to speak. Winter Park won 37-10. Corey won 34-0. So I like the goose egg a little better. Plus my man Assad Wasim at the receiver position. Personally, I don't believe that Winter Park. I know they got a lot of talented DBs, but I like them tomorrow. So I'm rolling with and not to mention Keandre, Calvin, Austin, Toby. It's just I like Osceola, man. I mean
Yeah,
Okoye, excuse me.
you got Pine Hill. Say you got Winter Park. My boy Dan, y'all don't know Dan, but that's my dude down in Miami. His boys out there, killing it, crushing the university. All his boys out there, all the way across the country. So it is what it is. So we got now I know he trolling. So watch that. See now he trolling. Look at this. He trolling. He just straight trolling. But
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm gonna let him have it. I'm gonna let because now he just trolling. But shout out to
so
Dan. Man, was this weekend I was able to go to Clemson to see Tyler, and of course I ran into Big Marcus Tate. He was out there locking it down, blocking. That's one of Dan's kids. He has kids all across the country. He was Brandon Ennis' coach when Brandon first got started. So he's gonna have another kid is gonna go Power Five and is gonna showcase his talent. So big shout out to Dan down there. I wish he was up in Central Florida causing havoc because he definitely knows how to coach.
hey, didn't Tate play in that
Yeah, he did.
the Legends game?
Tate played in the Legends game. He did his
That's what I
thing too.
thought. I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah, or he going to see them boys. Yeah, because actually, Dan, I got to get you in touch with Tyler Davis's dad. He'll be up there, man. Real good brother. So yeah, that should be a good game because Boston College always plays Clemson hard.
Hey, Zay putting on for BC right now. That boy look magnificent.
Oh, Zay is outstanding. Zay is outstanding.
Outstanding.
Yeah, Zay's a bad boy. Zay might be one of the top receivers out there. Real talk. So big shout out to Zay. So we got that pick'em, and then our last pick'em for Central Florida up here right now is let's see. My boy said did he miss anything major? Uh, nah, man, we just talking trash. You think he missed anything that we need to talk come back around? But I'm glad
Nah,
you're here because I'm gonna bring up something a subject, and I'm glad Dan is here. I'm gonna bring up two subjects that came up that a couple of parents sent us a message, a direct message on our website. But let's get Coco and someone out the way, and then we're gonna talk about that because it's definitely something I want to see. Because Pine Hills is a coach. Dan is he's Pine Hills is a ref.
yeah,
Dan is
everything.
Dan is the man down in South Florida. I want to just get these guys' opinion on something. But we got Coco versus Seminole. Who you rolling with?
Man, 2-2 Coco versus 4-1 Seminole. I just talked to Coco's offensive coordinator this week, Adam Franco. He's very confident. They had a bye, so they've been able to been working on Seminole for like a week or two now. But listen, man, if it's one team that I'm really, really, really impressed with the last 2 years, it's Seminole. Every time I saw Seminole lose, I feel like they lost versus the other team beating them. And obviously, I know that things happen, but I saw them go toe to toe last year with Chaminade Madonna, and they really should have won that game. But I'm gonna go with Seminole, man. I got Seminole,
I definitely got Seminole. I mean, I like Seminole.
and
I
they
think
home.
they home. I like Seminole. So it's going to be a good game. But I like Seminole. Of course, Lee's going to go
Lee,
with
no
Coco.
one. Of course,
Uh,
we know you
uh,
like Coco.
Yeah, my thing is, I think that Seminoles a different breed. They have a lot of talent down there. Coco has talent too.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just think Seminole, they've won championships. And like I told you before, you can never really discount that. When guys get to the championship round and stuff of that nature. But big shout out to them boys. So yeah, I'm definitely taking those guys. Boda's found his groove. But we
Oh,
gonna see.
Boulder's balling. Boulder,
But
I
we gonna
think
see.
Boulder like second in the state right now in passing yards. He is
Yeah.
balling.
Yeah, we
He
gonna see
is,
again. Like I
but
said, we gonna see against Seminole. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
much
Because
different level of
because yeah,
competition.
because the last two, like the last two teams that Coco played, they are far cry
Yeah,
from Seminole.
they beat
Here,
Space Coast,
here
and
go this dude
no
right here.
disrespect.
Here's this dude right here.
Hey,
Go
I love
James.
Go James too. I'm with him. My
Yeah, yeah,
man
I
Rodney
know.
Wills, he
But
ain't saying nothing
but
wrong.
but guess what? That's why he broke his foot in a pair of Air Jordans. Because he was sitting there talking bad about the real goat
Don't do the
and
man
Jordan.
like that, bro.
He know
That
he
was
know what happened.
that was
He
a
know what happened.
long that was a
He know what
long
happened.
road. That was a
Hey,
long recovery, bro.
yeah, put on some Jordans again and say something. But anyway, that's another story.
I thought it was his
This
Achilles.
is Achilles. But
God, God,
what we gonna definitely talk about? I had two things the parents said, and I think it was great conversation. One was the LeGarrette Blunt fight that happened. I don't know if you could Google it. Just put in LeGarrette Blunt. He fought at a parents' game. This is not the first time. Like maybe 3 weeks ago, we had the kid get shot in Texas at the game. LeGarrette Blunt's fight was up in Arizona. Uh, and so we had that, and then so to bring it home to us, we had an incident at a youth game. Recently as well. So what is going on? Why are we having these issues at these youth football games? Because I don't recall this when we were growing up. We have a lot of issues at youth football. You're talking about LeGarrette Blunt. He's an NFL guy. Why is he even fighting a parent at a youth football game? Akeem Talib and his brother. Why are you shooting somebody at an NFL game? Now we have guys, at a game that was, Soul Bowl that was, put on for the city. Everybody was there, and we had an incident at that. And also once again, you can't blame the event organizers for people acting a fool. I hate when people do that. So I mean, so let's see what everybody got to say about that. I wonder. Let's see, that's probably true. Do you think coaches are making promises they can't keep, or like little buddy going, get 25 carries and because we do know let's make sure that we clear. It's a lot of kids that got fine mamas. They kid all of a sudden is a star running back and a star quarterback. Let's just cut to the
Yeah,
chase. Yeah,
yeah, but that, like, let's be real. That's been
that's
happening.
been happening, right?
They've been the good looking mom. His son, he gonna start. Even he could be the sorriest kid on the damn team. That's
Oh,
been
he is.
happening.
He is.
They've been betting on games. So like they was betting on games when I was in youth football. I don't think they've been smoking at the parks. I don't think it's that. What I believe, my opinion, is I think it's the social media craze. I just think it's a different mindset. It's a different parent. The parents are even younger. Everything is just different. You say lack of professionalism. What
That's
professionalism
an
is there
elaborate.
to a parent?
Yeah, I just asked him
There's
to
no
elaborate on that because
professionalism.
that's not, that's a very broad statement. Uh, so let's see. And once again, it's all speculation, but it is what the bottom line is. We got to stop it. A kid should be able to enjoy youth football like we did, and without all the foolishness. We can't have
And
fights and gunfire at a youth game. I mean, it's
and
not that serious.
the other thing is too many parents are trying to live through their kid. they wasn't half a damn when they was in little
That
league. Now
part.
they little boy, he a little something, and they living through them. And the number
I'm gonna
one
tell you the
reason
fact.
why I know most of these parents are living through their kid is when I see them boys get out the car and they dress right. Ain't no 8-year-old know to get this much drip. His daddy put him on all them damn clothes because his daddy. So it's like dead giveaways. Once they get older, okay. But when he's 6 and he 8 and he drip like that, I know that's the
Hey,
daddy living through him.
look, man, like, hey, I won't say that because I had one that he was drippy from the beginning, but it
Man,
really had nothing to do with me. Like, to be honest, it had everything to do with Rat. Like, to be honest, because Rat would be the one. Like, it's coming from somebody. Because
but
I'm old. Yeah,
Rat
Rat
was
was the
showing
one.
him
Right,
this
right,
what you
right,
do.
right,
He like,
right,
like
right, right,
exactly.
right, right.
So
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
that
It was.
sense, Rat was living through him. Like
Yeah,
Rat was putting them boys
Rat.
on. Like
They
yeah.
had to. They had to be fly now. I ain't
That
gonna
was
lie
their
to you.
coach. And to
Yeah.
Rat credit, the All-Star games, Rat made sure all the boys was dope for the All-Star
Oh, yeah,
games.
Rat believe in drip.
He
Like
just
that's
like
that's
that.
who he is, right? But look at your boy. He got jokes, huh? All right. Yeah, I am much older than y'all. You're right. But I just think one of the things that my thing is with this, I honestly feel like ranking them in like 7, 8, 9 years old
It's
has,
ridiculous.
has ruined the game. I do not believe kids should be getting ranked 7, 8, 9 years old. I mean, I could, just like for those, I can talk about it because I'm from the city. But Friday Night Tykes, everybody knew what's the boy name? He was world known, and now
To my booby,
uh, and he's not even going to college to play
y'all want
football.
to win, put booby in.
Right. He's not even going to college. You gotta let those guys, be them, let them develop, let them do all the stuff. But I think parents are too involved, and they're too involved in the process. I definitely agree with that. I think that, and then there's a certain level, like you said, there's been smoking. And see, this is the difference. Maybe I am old because when we was older, like dudes smoked weed and they did stuff, but they never did it around the kids, bruh. They didn't do it around kids and old folks. Like I remember walking with my grandmama and I'd smell something, but they would put it out, just because we was walking by, versus, now, people, they don't care. They're going to puff it up right there in front of you. So,
Nah, I mean, it's so bad now. Adrian will tell you they don't even have the common courtesy to pre-roll. They busting guts in the parking lot. Like, come
yeah.
on, man. At least be ready for the situation. Don't have to get ready. It's just a bad look. But I don't even want to get too deep. But if I just be honest, the bigger thing is our people don't love each other, bro. Our people hate each other, and that's the first. Instead of being able to talk about a situation like civilized individuals, the first thing is fighting. And now in 2022, they ain't fighting no more. They
No,
shooting.
yeah,
Hop,
and
hop.
then you got coaches fighting one another, and the crazy part
I mean, you
is,
had that coach just he got shot and killed.
I mean, crazy, and people still, social media is
It's all
definitely taking
social
the.
media,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, because everybody,
Because
everybody now their kid is the number one kid, their team is the number one team, and just
yeah,
instead of just allowing those guys to play and have fun, like he's
and,
like Nat Luque saying, and everyone is fighting for this exposure, these offers, these scholarships. He's right, but my thing is, ain't nobody getting no scholarship in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade. It just ain't happening. And even if you see a kid with an offer in the seventh, and if he got an offer in the seventh grade, 9 times out of 10, he don't have that offer by the time he, get off. Brandon's probably the exception because Brandon was actually playing on a high school level when when he was in the seventh grade. So he's playing with a lot of guys like that. So it's just crazy, man. And I just think that at some point we got to do a better job. Like Tyrell said right here, parents must hold themselves to a higher standard instead of trying to put on for all the wrong reasons.
exactly.
I agree. You know, I mean, there's certain things that your kids should not see you. There's certain things your kids shouldn't see. Let's just put it like that.
Too many
And
friends, too many parents friends with their kids.
your kids don't need to know you like that. I don't care
And,
what it is.
and let me say this too, because obviously we have a personal relationship with Cat, and he's a part of a ranking service. So I don't want to make it seem like we throwing shots at him because a business
No,
in the business sense, he has to do that. He'll be a fool not to
no.
because of the demand.
Oh
But
no,
at the
he
end of
he
the
he
day,
the man with
the
that.
demand is coming from the parents.
But see,
The
but
parents
see,
want to see their
Cat
six,
ain't
7-year-old
yeah
son rank.
right. Cat ain't he ain't doing the whole country. We talking about this is something that's going around the whole country. We just happen to have an incident, at our event, and I don't even think Cat was there.
No,
But
but I'm saying we personally know
yeah,
him, and
yeah,
I
no,
know that
no,
he does those
no,
ranking
no, yeah,
services.
but see, but
So before it all get back to
Cat
him,
puts
I
in
just
work.
want to
Yeah,
clarify.
well, I don't even think Cat would even think that of us. But Cat, he's doing, him and Darian and all those guys, they literally taking the time to go to these spots, see the
Exactly.
kids, do all the stuff. It's not on them. I'm saying that parents are taking this thing way too serious.
Way too few.
And it's okay. Like what I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong with the rankings. It's how you take them. And they can
Nah,
rank them
it
out. Who
is
cares?
something wrong with him, bro. Like call a spade a
No,
spade.
no.
It's just it's
What
toxic.
I'm saying
It's
is, like
toxic.
it is. It. What I'm saying is, it's fool's gold for the parents. But like just like with our rankings, like the same thing we tell people. This is somebody's opinion.
Don't mean nothing.
I
Shit.
mean, like at the end of the day, nobody's not going to give nobody a scholarship or take away a scholarship because AG or even though y'all want to say AG got that kind of power. Like I can call rivals at 247. I got a dad mad at me right now. Was supposed to be my boy because he said he swear me down. I called rivals in 247 and told him to lower his son's rankings. Well, my son rankings got lowered by 200 points. So if I got that kind of power, don't you think I'm gonna make sure my son rankings is tight? That don't even make no goddamn sense. But people get caught up in all that, and someone, let's see, correct, correct, you know,
A lot of them do.
yeah, because they get to believing that they kid, and like I tell my son, I love 247. I don't have a problem with none of that. I don't have a problem with cat. I'm saying that parents have to do a better job. You can manipulate the rankings because if my kid was the number one kid in at 2023 as a 10-year-old, I swear I would use that as so much motivation. Man, hey man, you better get better because all these guys is coming after you. It just depends. Instead of the parent that, yeah, you the number one guy, we ain't gotta do nothing. Boop boop. Like that don't even make sense. No matter what, you like we have a friend of ours who his son was tremendous. He was never satisfied, and you should never be satisfied. A ranking doesn't mean nothing. You should always be trying to, because when you get to a certain point in ranking, you gotta stay. You gotta prove that you deserve to be there.
Yeah, because everybody hunting you now.
Correct. Now you the hunted. So and that's all that matters. Yeah, if you got a dog ranking the stars, I agree. Stars do matter though. I will say this, and I will tell it's unfortunate, but a lot of like recruiting coordinators at schools, they're gonna just look at
Now
them
it
kids' stars.
matters. The stars matter because it affects their paycheck. It affects their
Right,
bonuses.
right, right.
So the
So that
more 4 stars, the more 3 stars, the more 5 stars they bring in. So but I think I understand what they're trying to say.
no,
Like if
no,
you
what
a
we
dog, none of that stuff don't. It shouldn't
I
matter
agree.
to you.
No, if you're a dog, guess what? That's why you have kids every year that make it from smaller schools or somewhere you never knew about, and all of a sudden, just like that kid from Kansas City, that's that from Rutgers. But
The running back,
man, I saw him. I'm like,
man,
who the hell is this dude?
shit. It make you say who
Right?
didn't get him a scholarship?
Correct. Correct.
Four three
Like,
eight at 215 pounds. Like man,
yeah,
please.
I'm trying to figure out how the hell he was at Rutgers. Like seriously.
No disrespect to
No, no,
Rucker.
no disrespect, but I'm talking about like this. He obviously was there before Shiano got there
Yeah,
because Shiano only
look,
been there 2 years.
when
So that means
Shiano
some.
was there in the early 2000s,
Oh yeah, when they had Ray Rice and those boys,
Rucker,
they was balling, right? Because
woo,
he
woo.
wasn't letting nothing out of there.
Nothing out of New Jersey was leaving.
Look at my boy Hassan, boy. He got Hassan got numbers. He taking he talking about 7. So
Wow.
this is what we need somebody from Jones to take him up on his bet. But
PJ,
yeah,
PJ
but
do it.
nah, PJ old man. They got to be somebody his age. But back in the day, we got to find. Who would do it? Kermit.
Kermit.
Kermit would do it. Kermit should do it because Kermit should be the one to do it because they played 7-on-7 together. So Kermit should be the one to do it. But no, man, I think man at the end of the day, everybody's saying it. This dude right here, hey man, hey this dude right here said, "Hey, J, I never saw you without a hat on, bro."
I look just like you.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, nigga,
I was
like
about to
what
say,
the hell? Nigga,
yeah,
it's all the same.
I was about to say, like, y'all look a lot alike with
Just
the hat
like
off.
60% bald head black dudes.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You
Definitely
say
not true.
KJ will definitely do it. KJ
KJ don't
great,
count.
bro.
Yeah, KJ is Jones. Yeah, it got to be some like when you got a player, it got to be a player against a player. Somebody that played for the school, had
Yeah,
some
KJ
success.
played.
Yeah, but KJ, he wasn't as successful as Kermit. Let's not make it out to be like that.
I mean, yeah,
KJ.
but I'm just
Nah,
saying, my dog played on the damn
I'm
team.
just saying he didn't. I just said we talking about Hassan was, a starter at South Florida. We need a
All right,
starter from
damn.
somewhere
Yeah,
else.
we go with
Right,
Kermit then. Kermit got
right.
the,
That's
the
it. Right, we need
touchdown
somebody
in the
there.
national
Right, right.
championship, the kick
We got to
return.
get some
Yeah,
juice. We
I
got to
feel
get
you.
some juice, man. KJ plus KJ don't count because KJ know
KJ,
he got on Jones draws with Gator socks
K,
every day, every day.
KJ, KJ Nino Brown for the community right now in Central
Oh,
Florida for this
okay.
generation.
I told KJ, man, which I did do. Like I told him, I'm gonna get him some Gator socks and Jones draws. Cause if he died and they put him in anything else, I'm gonna be upset because everybody knows he loved both of those two programs, like to the T. But anyway, man. With that being said, and a Jag shirt. That's true. That's true. Throw him a Jag shirt in there as well. But with that being said, hey, we appreciate you guys coming in next week. Uh, next week, we got. Well, I guess I will tell them now. Hold on. Uh, we got something that's going to be really good for you guys. Our production is going to be a little bit better because we found someone to kind of sponsor what we're doing. Uh, Shot by Nine. They're going to be. Let's see here. Media 99, aka Shot by 99, which is their Instagram. They're one of our sponsors, and they're going to be at the game on Thursday, at the game on Friday, at the game on Mondays that we do, and they're going to have supreme highlights and stuff of that nature. We're going to be announcing the mid year top 10 positions. We'll do that next week, and then next Saturday we're going to definitely announce the guys that'll be in the game. So, what I would say to you guys is, if you have some guys that are going to be in our game, we kind of expect you to support them, if you can, or help us find, some sponsorship in the area so that we can, make sure we provide them with some good drip, some good gear, all that good stuff. We will have a recruiting fair that'll be put on by the Florida Minority Coaches Association. That'll be open to the whole public during this time. But definitely preference will be given to all our kids who are part of the game. So we want to make sure we take care of those guys first, but it'll be open to everybody else. So with that being said, man, you got anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, just look forward to the next couple games. Thursday, Friday, Monday, next Friday.
Tuesday,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be bangers
Yeah,
all week.
we're gonna be busy in Central Florida. We're gonna be very busy. Once again, guys, if you could make sure that you talk to the people in your community. Uh, uh, Pine Hill said something that I want to make sure I don't think you saw it, but I want to make sure. And I kind of AJ said he said, "Damn AJ, we don't love each other." Wow. I kind of think that.
Am I
Uh,
lying?
I kind of think that I agree with that because, you know, for people to be fighting their kids' games, it may not be that you don't love each other, but maybe it's just too much love for yourself. It's something selfish to do that.
Mentality.
The mentality is crazy because, like I said, where do they do that at? And once again, let's make sure we understand this. This ain't just a black thing because the incident, first of all, anybody ever been to Arizona, ain't that many black people out there anyway. So the incident with LeGarrette Blunt, was with him and some Caucasian people. But the bottom line is white, black, green, red, whatever. You should not be fighting at a kid's game. Period. And and I shouldn't have. And another thing, we shouldn't have to have a bunch of police and security there either. I mean, that's ridiculous. Let's let the kids be kids, and anything else you want to do, you could do. If you want to smoke weeds, you can do it, not at the game. If you whatever you want to do. If y'all want to fight, y'all can fight, but not at the game. Used to be a time that back in the day when you was from the hood, everyone took care of nothing went on like football fields, churches, stuff like that was sacred ground. You know, so hopefully we can get back to that. But yeah, so next week is going to be a real big week. You're going to see a lot of stuff from us, and we look forward to providing you more stuff for the Central Florida area. We really do. I thank God for what He's been doing for us, and we got more to go. So We appreciate you guys. If you ever have any questions, reach out to us on Instagram. If you know, once again, any businesses that will be willing to support some kids in your area, make sure you reach out to us as well. And then, and that's pretty much it for me. I'm done with it. Anything else from you, AJ? All right,
Next
we'll catch
week. Peace.
catch y'all next week. Peace.